Well, even though corn prices drying up, the government is still forcing fuel companies to use it for ethanol. And now, even the United Nations is saying that is a bad idea. It's asking Washington to ease up because the drought is causing a food crisis. My next guest says, Washington is clueless when even the UN is making more sense than D.C. Sam Kazman from the Competitive Enterprise Institute joins me now. And Sam, what did the UN say? They're saying stop the ethanol program completely, or just slow it down? What are they up to?
They're urging the U.S. to at least shut it down during these crisis conditions. And the problem is, at least politically, the U.S. is pretty far from doing that. First of all, you have a corn lobby at work that loves these ethanol problems, that loves these ethanol mandates. Secondly, you've got our Environmental Protection Agency, which runs these programs, which ought to be in the forefront of acknowledging that they are killing people by raising food prices, by increasing malnutrition. According to one very recent study, we're talking about almost 200,000 deaths per year due to malnutrition attributable to these ethanol programs. But as far as EPA goes, to them, they've been stalling on this issue for over a year. They're out here to supposedly protect people and the environment. But the way they operate, it's not in that order. They're willing to drop everything to save us from global warming. They're willing to do nothing when it comes to saving people from malnutrition.
Let me go back to this number you threw out there, because I think it's worth noting. I'm always a little suspicious about some of these quid pro quo type of studies where they say because of the ethanol program, 200,000 people died. I get the fact that people are dying out there because of food shortages in different parts around the country, around the world, I should say. But how do you equate the number with the ethanol program, and how much are we not exporting foods from this country?
This study looked at the impact of worldwide ethanol programs on food prices and the impact of those food price increases on malnutrition. And what it found was, at least for the year 2010, approximately 192,000 deaths were caused because of those increases in food prices. This was a peer-reviewed study done by a United States government economist. It's something we presented to EPA, and we asked them, when you tell us about all these alleged beneficial effects of your ethanol programs, you ought to just mention that they're killing people. EPA has taken over 300 days to just tell us we're still studying the response to your question. So this really is an agency that has its priorities and it has its non-priorities. And unfortunately, on that list of non-priorities is the fact that people are dying because of the programs that it is administering.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go even less extreme, but I mean, we've talked before about reports that the EPA basically says, so food prices are going up, you and me and people all across this country are going to pay more at the grocery store, and they basically have given an answer of we don't care. That's not our problem.
No, actually, the estimates they've come up with have been on the order of, well, for Americans, this may cost about $10 per year in increased food prices. So first of all, that figure by itself is highly suspicious. It was done before the current drought conditions. Secondly, it says nothing about the impact of that sort of price increase on people in developing countries, where if you're living at the edge of starvation, any price increase could easily push you and your family over the edge.
Whether you're in Zimbabwe or in Ohio, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the prices, especially for poor people, these are the people that are getting hurt the most. No question about it. Well, Sam Kazman, Competitive Enterprise Institute, thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you.
You bet. Well, you've heard the